fantastic. Nora Elizabeth. Oh, that is really something.
How are you doing right
It's rough. It's rough, but I'm here. What can I say? You know, I have to have a surgical procedure next week, and I've been going through the terrible pain of long COVID. But I'm not gonna lay back and let it take me. You know, the Lord is with me.
now? Will you have your pastor come be with you before your surgery to pray with you?
No, you kidding? No.
Heck no. Go grab it. Yeah.
I haven't heard from him. I've been under the weather as such for
When is it
my
gonna
hip.
be?
It will be in silver. Yeah.
When?
When it will be
Like right
next week.
here,
It'll
or-
be. I'll have the pre-op on Monday and the surgical procedure on Wednesday. My sister's coming up from Mooresville.
It's on Wednesday.
Yeah.
In Selma.
Yeah. Yeah. All that time, I heard one little text from him. We're praying for you, and it hurts my
Is
heart.
it John?
No, it's Turner.
Uriel?
No, Webb hasn't said anything either, but Webb left, of course.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's not here. He's been gone for quite a while now.
Who's in Texana?
I don't know if they have anybody yet.
Really?
Yeah, they said Sunday was really good. His Uriel's wife, Selena, was the preacher Sunday, and they said she did a great job.
I had no idea that John was in there.
Yeah, he left.
Man.
Yeah, it really hurts you. My cousin died on Saturday. I was asked to come up to Brevard and speak, so I did. And on the way back, I stopped by the hospice to see her, and it reminded me, what is church all about? Why do we go to church? Why do we read the scriptures and sit in church and sing and all this if you're not going to do something for the people out there? So I went by to see her, and I put my hand on her. She was in a coma. Put my hand on her and told her all the great things that I knew she had done. And as soon as I left, she died. Yeah, I was so glad that I was able to get there before she passed. But sometimes I think they hear you, and she might say, well, people do know what I've done, and I've tried to do the best I can in church and everything. She was wonderful, serving the church and everything, but her pastor didn't come see her either.
Well, I'm gonna go get something for you before we leave, okay?
Oh,
So I
okay.
have something I want to share with you that I gift
Good words?
it's a palm cross.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
one that you can hold in your hand that
Okay.
somebody from our church carved.
Okay.
And I just got it back actually.
Oh.
The guy in the sound booth that had hand surgery.
Oh,
So I hand it on to people in church.
okay.
And
You pass it on to somebody else?
so people will take it with them before and during a surgery or a difficult moment in their life.
Yeah.
And they know that the prayers of the previous person that pressed into it,
Okay.
theirs are added, and to know that the church will be praying for them.
And their spirit is in there. This is the thing that I do everything I can to make sure to reach out to those who I know are going through something. And that's why I went by there, because I wasn't feeling great. I just went from Brevard to Asheville to see her especially. And it was good. I'm so glad I did, because I've known her for years and I've respected her work in the church and everything. And I don't know what's wrong with people now in church and stuff. It hurts my heart. My heart's broken over it, the way churches are. Because not only did the pastor not do anything, but one time one of the members brought me some food, so that was great, and it was really nice. But to think, I try to call everybody that's sick or not doing well every now and then. I have a friend in Denver who she just cries sometimes with the prayers that we say together, you know. So I don't know what's wrong in this world. The world is not the greatest right now, but it's going to be better. Well, maybe it's not going to be better. Maybe it's time for the Lord to come back, right?
Someday.
Someday.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we'll say. Someday.
That's right. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, so we'll look for a better day. Yeah. I think sunshine's going to help us a little bit warmer days. Yeah.
I hope so. Ready for our kids to be outside.
All right. I bet that's right. But I want to thank you too for opening up your doors here, and I remember being over in Ingles parking lot sitting there talking to you about that session we did where we did several talks. And there are people who remind me of those talks now. Yeah.
That started a lot, you know.
It did. It really did. I think even common ground. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We did it. I mean, together. This was really important.
Isn't that
Esther
amazing?
Manchester is the most amazing lady. Yeah, she's a mentor for me. Okay.
I wonder if she'll be here tonight. I don't know. I saw
No, I
her
didn't
earlier
talk to you.
today.
Hi. Doing okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. It's great to meet you. I enjoyed getting to talk with Denise. I was going to say the other day, but it was like the other month, right? So it's good to get to see you. You've been playing a whole lot lately?
Yeah, it's like
Great, yeah.
this week sometime. But the next one was Sunday. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, all right now. See how we're all kin?
Part of the kingdom.
Yeah, you got it. What time is it?
It is 5:51.
51. I need to run to the car. I'm expecting somebody to come and pick up some papers. And I forgot to bring them in.
I'm going to go make sure lights are on downstairs so people can
Yes.
get down there. Okay, that sounds right. And then I turn it over to you? Okay, sounds good.
actually, well, thanks. I might, yeah, maybe. Yes, this is Ann, right? Yeah. Caroline. I met you a year ago at the women's multicultural and I haven't forgotten you. So you're kind of with us all the time.
Thank you. I like that. That's a good boost.
But so she had contracts and I invited
April 20, I mean, March 20th.
so yeah, she was March. I taught like 1981, something like that. I taught singing to good kids and
It's so nice when all these different denominations come together. Those guys back there said they're Mormons.
yeah, it's like gonna take off. Yeah.
If I sit close to the sun, I could.
I feel a lot of pressure to make the right section.
So you don't want to be where you can run it in case you want to, right? I'm Ann.
Hi, I'm Bonnie.
Hey, Bonnie. Glad to meet you.
I'm racing at the folk school at some point.
Yeah. I love to work at the folk school.
Well, what if we don't know where we're supposed to be? It's actually nice.
Bonnie, you know, then just roll the dice. Live dangerously. And
Are we locked in?
and like sit next to somebody else. So
Yeah. I mean, that is a safe place.
it's never wrong to say to them.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe Kristen will give us like instruction.
Right here.
Good. Okay. Hey, good evening, everybody. A way I sometimes try to get people's attention when we're here in church is I say, "The Lord be with you," and they holler back, "And also with you." We'll try it. Ready? The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
That was pretty good. My name is Will Posey. I get to serve as the pastor here at First United Methodist Church, and I'm thrilled that you all are here. And by you, I mean you all who are here in this very room, and you all who are joining us online. We're glad that you're here as well. This event happened last year as well, and last year I got here at the very last minute. I was flying in on 2 wheels, and I got here just in time to join hands around the circle. But I listened to it on the broadcast through my phone, which is a reminder, if you brought your smartphone with you, please silence your phone. And while you're doing that, if you have Facebook or an ability to share, you can find First United Methodist Church on Facebook, and you can find this event that's live right now and share it so that other people who are not here can also join in and be a part of the event tonight. There you go. That's your cue. Housekeeping thing, there is a restroom right through that door. You might not want to walk up to that door, though. You can also get to another restroom downstairs by walking down that stairwell and carefully meandering your way through the preschool. And then you'll find another restroom just down there. And there's a changing table at the bottom of that stairwell back there as well. When I shared this event on Facebook a couple of days ago, I shared a quote that I attributed to Jonathan Wilson Hartgrove, who's a community organizer, theologian and teacher over in Durham, North Carolina. But in looking at the program, I remembered who actually said it. He was quoting Ella Baker, who said, people who can sing together are people who can work together. And people who can work together just might be able to live together in genuine community. And so isn't that the goodness of what we're trying to do tonight? Amen? So we're glad that you're here tonight. And the one thing I want to share, just to put on your radar, Kara's going to talk about common ground in just a moment. And we could do announcements for days. But one thing I do want to ask you to put on your calendar, if this is interesting to you, is there will be a pilgrimage that goes to Cherokee, North Carolina, June 5th through the 7th. So if this is of interest to you, to take a trip up to Cherokee, North Carolina, to learn more about our Cherokee neighbors and those who called this place home generations before white settlers ever arrived here, to learn about language and the resurgence of learning the Cherokee language, sign up for that. It's going to be a phenomenal learning experience, and you can hear more about that when registration details come out through Common Ground. Okay, I think those are all the housekeeping-y things that I have to share tonight. We're so excited for this event, and I'm glad that y'all are here.
We are super grateful for Will and his church family sharing the space with us, this beautiful historic building that has a long story. There's a little bit of information in the guide that you have for this evening. There's a description of what Common Ground is. I know I recognize lots of familiar, beautiful faces, but if you're new tonight, there's a little invitation to join our mailing list and just consider coming to some of the things that we host. We're just a little community of people that get together, and one of our goals is to know our neighbors well, and that means you. So look to your left and look to your right. We want to know each other well. We believe that everyone has a story and that every single person is a valuable part of this community. That includes you. We host events to bring people together, so we have things like community suppers. Sorry, I'm not used to this. Is that better? We have things like community suppers where we gather around a table and we all tell stories from our lives. Stories where we get to know each other better. We have poetry nights, we have movie nights, and all of these things are centered around conversation and story. Because I think when we hear each other's stories, we understand each other better. And that's why we do this. So I want to invite you to just sign up. I promise we won't bombard you with spam emails, but I will send out a calendar and a reminder here and there. But you're invited to join anything that appeals to you, because we love it when we have new faces. I'm going to ask you if you have a guide, or if you want one, we have more. If you want to raise your hand if you need another guide. I'm going to have you turn to the very last page. And there is an Encyclopedia Britannica definition of what civil rights are. We're going to be talking about that through song and through story tonight. But I want you to imagine a privilege that you have because you get to engage in civil society. These rights did not come without the work of thousands of people that went before us. If you didn't own property, if you were an immigrant, if you were a person of color, if you were a child, if you were an employee or a woman or a Native person or a person with any kind of disability, the civil rights that we have right now only came because someone fought for it. Tonight we're going to honor those people who spent time fighting for those rights, those who experienced pain and suffering and violence. Those who fought for us and for all people who are created equal and endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights. So we're here tonight to bear witness with our songs and to the brave people of the American Civil Rights Movement and to the brave people even now who continue to use the language of love to continue to work towards a more perfect union. I'm going to invite my friend, Kristen George. She's going to be your friend after tonight, too. She is a music educator and a mom and a wife and a part of our Murphy community. You're going to see tonight that she's very talented. She's gonna teach us some things. She's going to walk us through not only the music, but the history of the music, which is so important. All the way back to the beginning of human time, music is written for something. And when people come together, we need to know that story behind it. These are not easy stories to tell. But one of the things that I appreciate most about Kristen is not only is she a music educator, but she's an educator. And she has taught me a lot in her Facebook posts. And I've learned so much, and I've appreciated her more than anything, the grace with which she teaches and the grace with which she engages. She's willing to answer questions. She's willing to talk about her story and your story. And I think you're going to see that tonight. So I hope that you enjoy this. And Kristen, thank you for being here.
I think I turned the mic on. Can everyone hear me okay? No? Not yet? Do we have, oh, okay. I just need to speak louder. Okay. So good evening, everyone, and thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm really excited about this event because last year we did this and I didn't know what to expect. And I didn't know if we were going to be a group of 5 people or a group of 20 people or a group of 50 people, but it was even more than that. I think we had about 75 that showed up last year. And it was great to see that this community is engaged and that there are people here that want to learn and know and experience things related to Black history. And moving here from Boston, which is obviously a lot more diverse than Murphy, it's been great to know that I'm surrounded by lots of different type of people, but there are people here who genuinely are good people and who are concerned about the world beyond just this tiny little town. So I appreciate all of you and those who are coming for the first time and those who are bringing people that came. Several people said, I came last year and I'm coming back with more people. So thank you for being here and I really appreciate your presence today. So we are going to be singing, but we are also going to be doing some other things and learning a bit between songs and about songs, and Kara explained a bit about that. Like last year's inaugural event, this is an educational, communal, experiential musical workshop. So it is participation-based, but also there are going to be moments where you can listen, and moments where you can think, moments where you can ponder questions. So all of that's going to be intertwined here. We want to remember that these songs are not just music. They are birthed from the union of crisis and courage. And so there are a mix of songs that we're going to be learning tonight that come from as early as the 1800s and even late 1700s during slavery, and songs that are written as recently as this year. So we have a big variety of music that we're going to be looking at and learning. I want to encourage you not to just listen with your ears, but with your conscience as we sing these songs. You'll find that some of these songs are very much relevant now, even though they were written a long time ago. And they're all the soundtrack of freedom, love, and justice. Civil rights activist, diplomat, and writer of Lift Every Voice and Sing, James Weldon Johnson once said, "We must never forget that Black history is American history. If that is true, and it is, then this history belongs to all of us." What changes when we stop treating this history as supplemental? So I'm going to keep posing questions for you to just kind of quietly think about. What changes when we stop treating this history as supplemental? So tonight is about honoring Black history, not as a sidebar to American history, but as central to it. But first, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge foundational Black Americans, like myself and some others in this room, who family lineage can be traced back to the early days of this country. Let's just take a moment to remember that that lineage did not begin with slavery. It did not begin in a racialized world. It did not begin with a race-based hierarchy. our history predates all of those things. Racism and chattel slavery were systems that were forced upon us, and those systems are not a reflection of who we are. Our roots run deeper than slavery and oppression. And so I just want us to keep that in mind. When we talk about Black history, we often start in America, and in America, Black history often starts with slavery, but that is not where my family tree begins. That is just a section of the family tree. So with that said, we honor all of those enslaved women, men, girls, boys who built this nation's economy under duress and without compensation. We honor their descendants who had to endure and at times still have to endure domestic and even state-sanctioned terrorism. We honor their creativity, resistance, endurance, intellect, and faith that shaped the country we live in today. We remember those whose suffering was undocumented, those whose stories were intentionally distorted or erased, and whose courage pushed this nation closer to its ideals, even when people and institutions within this nation resisted. So tonight, I will tell the truth about the historical context surrounding each of the songs shared, and in doing so, tell the truth about suffering and struggle. In the words of the Haitian-American visual artist Kervin Andre, if the truth makes you uncomfortable, don't blame the truth. Blame the lie that made you comfortable. So tonight, we celebrate resilience. We learn what we may not have been taught. We'll take time to think deeply and ask what freedom, love, and justice look like or should look like today. And of course, we're going to sing, right? So, yes. So for each song that we sing tonight, there'll be relevant quotes, a thought-provoking question or two, and a bit of background information to help you understand the context of the song a little bit more. Feel free to jot things down in the margins of your beautiful program that Kara created. I love the work that she did there. She's put in a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that today went well. So we appreciate that. Some of the songs are going to be sung in unison. Actually, who sings here? Who feels like, hey, I am a comfortable singer? Because I'm not seeing that many hands. Okay, all right. So if you are new to singing, or if singing is not really your thing, that's okay. Everyone is here to just sing communally. There are lots of studies that talk about the power of singing collectively. So whether you feel you're a good singer or not is not as relevant as the fact that you are here and united with others in song, right? So if your voice is not doing what it should, and mine may not do what it should either, so just take it easy, do the best you can, all right? So with that being said, I want to take a moment to move us into sections, okay? So if you are kind of not a singer, you may not really understand this, but generally, I want the people who want to sing the main melody, meaning the easiest part to sing, to sit here, okay? If you are someone who has a lower voice and feels like, okay, I can kind of hold down a tenor part or a lower harmony, this is going to be your area over here, okay? If you are a soprano and you want to occasionally have a couple of higher notes to sing, you can shift to here. So if anyone wants to take a moment to move to a section that is going to make more sense for them, I know some of you want to just sit with friends and family, but if you want to shift to somewhere, everyone over here good with those higher parts? Okay. Yes, absolutely, yes. And okay, so we kind of have some sections happening, not too much switching going on. But you have a second, let's give you a few seconds to figure that out if you want to move. Okay, so keep moving, it's fine if you need to shift, figure it out. Low, middle, high, but also singing impaired here, okay? Okay, so whatever you need, find your section. Okay. Okay, so most of the songs we are going to sing will be in unison, but we are going to divide into parts on some songs. So it's not going to be every song, just certain ones. Good. We have some movement into the tenor section. Good. I like it. Okay. Okay. So if you looked in your program, you may see that the songs are divided into 3 sections or parts. The first section is unity, songs of unity. The second section are songs of struggle, and then the third section are songs of hope. So we're kind of following that framework for tonight, and it's based on The song Lift Every Voice and Sing, which we're going to talk about in a moment, where the first verse is about unity, coming together, joyfulness, celebration, and uniting even in the midst of struggle. The second verse is very solemn and sad and mentions a lot of things that happened historically that were painful and difficult. So we have a section of songs of struggle, and then we have songs that are oriented in hope. Okay, so unity and some love and, that kind of thing, and then struggle, and then hope. Okay, and every section starts with a verse from the song Lift Every Voice and Sing. So we have the first verse and then some songs, second verse and then some songs, third verse and then some songs. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's interesting to me that a lot of people discovered that song via the Super Bowl in the past decade or so. But Lift Every Voice and Sing was written in the year 1900. It's not new. And black people know it's not new. It's been around forever within black communities. It's been sung in black churches for over a century. It was made the national anthem of Black America in 1919. So this is not something people came up with for the Super Bowl to be divisive, right? This is something that was around and was the national anthem of Black America before the Star Spangled Banner was chosen as the national anthem for this country. So if you ever need those pieces of information to share with others, there they are. This has been long-standing. It is not a new song. It is a song that was spread originally largely through churches. And you'll find that a lot of the songs that have been prominent for liberty and civil rights and justice have been kind of disseminated through the black church. And so Lift Every Voice and Sing was a song that you would see in black churches literally pasted into the front cover of hymnals. And so you could find this song sung all over the nation. It was originally written in Jacksonville, Florida. It was originally a poem and not a song. So the composer, James Weldon Johnson, was an activist, but he was also an elementary school principal. And what he did was, for a celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birthday one year, he wrote a poem, and the 500 school children that he had as students performed this. They spoke all three verses together in unison. His brother, John Rosamond Johnson, was a musician, and he set that poem to music, giving us Lift Every Voice and Sing as we know it now. And so when we sing this song, I want you to just think about the context of it a little bit. This is 1900, so slavery was over, but there were definitely things rising, like laws that were discriminatory, Jim Crow. So if you think about the era right after slavery, there was a time where there were actually fewer restrictions for black Americans than there were for most of the time after that. There were the largest number of black people in government that there have been since. And then as society realized, oh my goodness, there are black people forming communities, they are creating economic power, they are serving in government and getting elected to office and having influence over the way this country is shaped, that's when laws began that were discriminatory. So it wasn't immediately after slavery. It was like a period of not having that, and then this huge backlash from which we are still recovering. So when we sing Lift Every Voice and Sing, think of what was going on around the time that was written, but also you can consider what happened after that as well. Okay. So before we sing the song, I just want to make sure I said all the things I was going to say about that. Okay. A. Philip Randolph, who was a civil rights activist, labor organizer, and founder of the first successful African American labor union, said, "Freedom is never given, it is won." Traditionally, we stand for the singing of Lift Every Voice and Sing. We know that standing signals respect, it expresses unity, it reinforces shared identity, it embodies belonging. Historically, standing for this anthem was a way to honor our ancestors, affirm our dignity, and declare perseverance. Standing for Lift Every Voice and Sing wasn't just about nationalism, but a way to claim full belonging in a nation that denied full belonging. And so I invite you to stand as we lift every voice together. If you know the melody, you can sing along. If you don't, follow along and just look at the lyrics, and I'll sing through it. We're generally going to be singing a cappella tonight for the reason that these songs were often a cappella because they were songs that you would sing while moving, while protesting, while out in the streets. And so they weren't really songs where everyone would kind of sit and have instruments. So we're going to kind of get a feel for what that was like. Okay, so lift every voice and sing. It goes like this. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Wonderful. All right, you may be seated. Thank you for sharing in that song. And that sounded pretty good, so I think we're going to be okay with the singing tonight. Yeah. So we're going to move into We Shall Not Be Moved. So nobody's free until everybody's free, said Fannie Lou Hamer. Nobody's free until everybody's free. Fannie Lou Hamer survived brutal beatings, jailings, and forced sterilization. Why? For trying to register to vote in Mississippi in the 1960s. Freedom in this country has always been contested. So ask yourself, if one group's rights are threatened, is anyone's freedom truly stable? Who is still fighting to be fully heard, respected, included? We Shall Not Be Moved takes lyrics from a spiritual, from the era of slavery. So a lot of the songs that were developed during slavery were rooted in biblical principles. And so this is one of the songs that comes out of that. So if you are familiar with Psalm 1 in the Bible, where it talks about a tree that's planted by the streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither, and all that. Yeah, so that is where that part comes. We shall not be moved, like a tree that's planted by the water. So the roots are deep and stable and cannot be pushed aside. So that's the idea there. This song was passed down by oral tradition, meaning that instead of people saying, I'm going to write those lyrics down and write down some sheet music, it was taught by people just sharing the song and singing it to each other. And it was adapted into a labor song early on. This is in the late 1800s. And at that time, it was changed from I shall not be moved to we shall not be moved, because for the labor cause, it made sense to be collective. And so it was also adapted into a gospel song that you would hear in churches in the first half of the 20th century. And then it was used in the civil rights movement as well as labor protests. It was famously sung at the March on Washington in 1963 by a group of college students called the Freedom Singers. Has anyone heard of the Freedom Singers before? If you were around back then, you may have heard of them, but for some of our younger people, the Freedom Singers were a group of young people that were kind of responsible for sharing songs of struggle and the songs that became the anthems of the civil rights movement. So they would sing at events, and they would pass on that music and help other people to learn it so that they could then go off and share that music. And so it was famously sung by them. And a lot of people saw the March on Washington, and so this song kind of spread a bit wider after that. It was never sung as a performance, right? It was always a tool of unification and courage. And the lyrics are adaptable. So for union purposes, they might sing like, the union is behind us, we shall not be moved. Or for freedom purposes, we're fighting for our freedom, we shall not be moved. Right? So depending on what the context was, the lyrics would change. And that's one of the things you'll notice with a lot of these songs. It's a melody and a basic concept that then can be adapted to whatever is going on in society at that time that needs to be addressed. Okay, so we're going to sing We Shall Not Be Moved, just so you get an idea. I mean, there's other verses we could do, but for now we'll try the ones that are there. So it starts like this. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Then they might sing, fighting for our freedom, we shall not be moved. Fighting for our freedom, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We walk this road together. We walk this road together. We shall not be moved. We walk this road together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Standing with our neighbor. Standing with our neighbor, we shall not be moved. I like the harmonies, yep. Standing with our neighbor, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Voices raised together. Voices raised together, we shall not be moved. Voices raised together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Beautiful. So I meant to mention that, anytime you want to add harmonies, these songs are flexible. They're living songs. So that means that you can, in addition to switching up lyrics, you can add harmonies, you can add ad-libs and riffs. You can, if you feel it in your spirit to sing something extra, do it, okay? And also think about things that would be added now. What are some, there are other verses that could be added to the song that are just relevant to the time period. So that's how We Shall Not Be Moved goes, and that's how it was used in its historical context. So the next song is called Stand Up. Shirley Chisholm was the first black woman elected to the U.S. Congress and the first black woman to run for the presidency of the United States, which was not only a big deal for a black person, but as a woman, obviously that was a big deal as well. So she was way before her time. I kind of started researching more about her, and she's amazing, amazing person. If you want to look into Shirley Chisholm, please do. Some of you may remember when she was running and when she was involved in politics as well. Her campaign slogan was unbought and unbossed. And I just thought that was wonderful. That was her campaign slogan. Shirley Chisholm, unbought and unbossed. And although she did not win, she definitely made a mark in terms of where women were welcome, where black people were welcome. And she said, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. So she was about business, and she got it done. This song that we're going to sing is actually from a movie that came out in 2019. The movie is called Harriet, and it's about the life of Harriet Tubman. If you haven't seen it, it's a good film. And the lead in that film is Cynthia Erivo, who is an actress and singer, amazing singer, and you might have seen her in Wicked recently. But she actually co-wrote this song that we're going to sing. And she created it to represent Harriet Tubman's inner voice. So her spiritual resolve, her courage, her call to action. The song was nominated for, I think, 2 Academy Awards, and it's moved beyond film into communities. I've heard this song sung by students in classrooms. I've heard it sung in concerts. I've heard it sung at protests. So this song has life beyond the cinematic realm. And just like the spirituals and freedom songs that came before it, its words can shift to meet the urgency of the present. So although there are verses in the original song, tonight's version is just adapted from just the chorus part of the song. So there is more to this song than what you see there, but this is the part that keeps recurring Hopefully you understand how that works. So songs generally have verses, which kind of change as you go, and they sort of tell the story of the song. And then they have a chorus, which is a repeated part that the song tends to go back to over and over again. So this is the chorus section of that song, but with lyrics that were adapted to kind of meet some of the current needs in society and concerns in society. So when we sing, consider these questions. What does it mean to stand up? Who are my people? What does that mean? And how do we rise together in a broken nation? So it goes like this. If you're familiar with the song, you can sing along, but if not, I'm going to do a couple of lines at a time to give people an idea of how it goes. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are rising toward a brighter dawn. Let's try that much. Ready? I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are rising to a brighter dawn. Good, one more time. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are rising to a brighter dawn. Yes, the next part is similar. Across this broken nation, can you hear freedom calling, calling us to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. Try that part, ready? Across this broken nation, can you hear freedom calling, calling us to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. Then at the end, she would sing, I can feel it in my bones. Okay? So let's put this together. And then if you feel inspired to feel it in your bones at the end, then add that part in. Here we go. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are rising to the brighter dawn. Across this broken nation, can you hear freedom calling, calling us to answer? Gonna keep on one more time. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are rising toward a brighter dawn. Across this broken nation, can you hear freedom calling, calling us to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. Yeah. So those lyrics definitely have power to them. What does it mean to stand up now? Who are my people? How do we rise together? How do we make this happen? So the next song talks about this a little bit more. We're moving into love because we are talking about songs of unity, so I wanted to make sure something that was blatantly about love was included there. What does love look like in our public life? We know what love is like in our personal lives, right? When we know people well and we care about them and we're concerned for their well-being and we want the best for them and we do things sacrificially for them. In the public life, in our public life and in the public realm, what does love look like? Kindness. Yeah. Anything? Helping people. Grace. Unconditional. Yeah. So I just want us to think about that. What does that look like? And what does unity require of us? I was thinking about unity because unity does not need everyone to think exactly the same thing or to believe exactly the same way, but shared values can be enough. And so I think sometimes when we think about what unity requires of us, it doesn't require us to be carbon copies, but it does require us to be on the same page about certain things. So let's just think about that. Dr. King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And you may have noticed my shirt with the love thy neighbor, right? It's not designed to be conditional, right? It can be hard to love some people, but that's something I've been personally working on a lot. For people that can be difficult, but it's important. We can't have caveats and I love people unless leaving out certain groups or certain types of people, right? Even people that I'm looking like, I love my racist neighbor, really? But I mean, for me, I know that's what God has called me to do, but for you, you may have your own reasons for doing what you do. But I think it's important for us to think about that. Go ahead. Sometimes it is hard. It is. But love is important. And so this next song says, stronger than fear, stronger than hate, stronger than lies, love is. And this has some parts. You're going to need your hands for this one. So I hope the lyrics are easy enough that you can not hold your program. Okay, so this is our clapping section. The trick is to not speed up or slow down. Okay, keep it going. Bum, bum, bum. 2, 3. Bum, bum, bum. 1, 2, 3. Bum, bum, bum. 1, 2, 3. Bum, bum, bum. 1, 2, 3. Bum, bum, bum. Keep it going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Snap, snap. I can't snap that well, but you can. Snap, snap. Snap, snap. Snap, snap. Snap, snap. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Snap, snap. Mm-hmm. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. So you have the thigh pad. Yeah. Okay. Good, good, good. Now, that is the accompaniment to this song. Okay? So we do have to sing while we do those things, all right? You have to clap. That's the easiest part. Okay. Okay. So it goes like this. Stronger than fear, stronger than hate, stronger than lies, love is. Stronger than fear, stronger than hate, stronger than lies, love is. One more time. Stronger than fear, stronger than hate. You have stronger than lies, love is. Okay, let's try it with, well, I'll add you in with your claps and stuff. Let's try to sing and clap together. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Stronger than fear, stronger than hate, stronger than lies, love is. Stronger than fear, stronger than hate, stronger than lies. Keep going. Love is stronger than fear. Bum, bum, bum. Stronger than hate. Stronger than lies. Love is. Keep going. Stronger than fear. Bum, bum, bum. Stronger than hate. Adding in harmonies now. Keep going. Here we go. Love is. Just that one part. You come in with the harmony. Yep, you can add more if you want. Hate. Stronger than lies. Love is stronger than fear. Keep going. Stronger than hate. Stronger than love. We're moving to the B section. It goes like this. We stand together. Oh, you echo. You echo. Okay. So we're saying we stand together. We stand together. We stand united. We stand united. Won't be divided. Won't be divided. All are invited. All are again. Invited. We stand together. We stand together. We stand united. We stand united. Won't be divided. Won't be divided. All are invited. All then it goes back. Stronger than fear. Stronger than hate. Stronger than lies, love is. Bum, bum, bum. Stronger than fear, stronger than hate, stronger than lies, love is. We stand together. We stand together. We stand united. We stand united. Won't be divided. Won't be divided. All are invited. All are invited. We stand together. We stand together. We stand united. We stand united. Won't be divided. Won't be divided. All are invited. 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 Stronger than fear. Stronger than hate, stronger than lies, love is. One last time. Stronger than fear, stronger than hate, stronger than lies. Love is. Love is. That was so good. I wrote that song last week because I was thinking for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed it because I wanted to have something that was blatantly about love. So, yeah, that was beautiful. I thought that was it was great and it was fun. Good. So we're moving into the struggle section. What did justice cost? And what does it still cost? This is the heavier section of the program, so just keep that in mind as we go. And instead of singing along with verse 2 of Lift Every Voice and Sing, I want you to listen deeply, follow along with the song lyrics in your program, think about the historical context, what it may have meant to Black Americans at various points over the last 120 years, and what these lyrics mean today. So I want you to think about verse 2. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. Truth is not divisive. Avoiding truth is divisive. What parts of American history are still uncomfortable to name? What happens to us individually and collectively when we sanitize injustice?
More injustice.
It's cyclical. The next song in this section is Kumbaya. And I think a lot of people know this song kind of in a campfire context. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. So that was actually, and there's history there, but that was kind of an appropriation of the song. That's not the song as it was designed and as it evolved within the Gullah Geechee community on the coastal parts of North and South Carolina and Georgia. This song is actually the state historical song of the state of Georgia because of the Gullah Geechee people along the coast. And it was created by enslaved people. And these people were coming from different parts of Africa. They were not speaking the same language. And that was intentional, and we could get into that later. But people that were being enslaved created their own dialect and their own language that drew from lots of different African languages and combined with the bits of English that they were learning and had a language that we refer to as Gullah. And this is Gullah. Kumbaya is Gullah for come by here. So if you hear someone say, come by here, my Lord, or Kumbaya, my Lord, they're the same thing. Kumbaya, my Lord, is the original dialect that this song was in. And it was not a song about everyone coming together and kind of being on the same page and unity and stuff like that. This song was about hardship. It was about moments when people were so desperate that all they could think of was having the Lord intervene and save them from the situation that they were in. It's a call and response style song, originally in its context, even though it's simple enough that everyone can sing it together. And it sounds upbeat in its original version. We're going to sing it the way that it was sung in the Civil Rights Movement, and the way that I've listened to several recordings over the years of it being sung by Gullah Geechee people in their original context of the song. And it is upbeat, but it's not a happy song. It's not a everybody's just hanging out together around the campfire song. It's not. It is a plea for God's strength. It's a plea for intervention. It's a plea for mercy. So despite its upbeat style, I want you to keep that in mind. Who is singing Kumbaya today? Who is crying? Who is praying? The lyrics talk about that. So let's look into this song. And when it was used in the Civil Rights Movement, that was the idea. We need God's help because this is a desperate and horrible situation. And that is what is behind this song. So it goes like this. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. This is a good one for adding harmonies on because I think everybody kind of knows the basic melody. So if you want to add kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Something like that would work with it. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, yeah. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. So there are parts you can add in. Add harmonies. Kind of fill it out a little, okay? Let's try the other verses. So we have somebody's crying, Lord. So think about this word. Somebody's crying, somebody's praying, somebody needs you. These are the word. This is the way I learned it in church as a child. And it was upbeat, but it was not happy. So let's try. Someone's crying, somebody's crying. Ready? And somebody's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Somebody's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Somebody's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. Somebody's praying. Somebody's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Somebody's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Somebody's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. Somebody needs you. Somebody needs you, Lord, kumbaya. Somebody needs you, Lord, kumbaya. Somebody needs you, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. Yes. You'll find that in African American tradition and subcultures as well within that, including Gullah Geechee culture, there are a lot of songs that sound upbeat but are about really heavy things. And my opinion on that, I'm not saying this is factual, this is what I've gathered from studying songs over the years, is when you are in bad situations, having music that has a joyful feel can sometimes be just enough to help you cope, even if the song is not really a happy song and the situation's not happy. So I think that's why we have a lot of those songs that feel upbeat and feel happy that are really not. Freedom is a constant struggle. This is a song that was sung frequently during the Civil Rights Movement and emerged in the 1960s. Again, this is one that the Freedom Singers popularized as well. Did you? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought that was your arm for a question. Okay. So, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. That was Frederick Douglass, 1857. Sometimes it seems like to tell the truth today is to run the risk of being killed. But if I fall, I'll fall 5 foot 4 inches forward in the fight for freedom. Fannie Lou Hamer, 1964. If you're not ready to die for it, put the word freedom out of your vocabulary. Malcolm X. Whenever we, the people, have demanded that this country live up to its founding ideals, there has always been resistance, often violent resistance. Every major expansion of rights in American history, whether it was abolition or women's suffrage, civil rights, whatever's going on now required organized, sustained vigilance and pressure. This freedom song from the 1960s reminds us of the hard truth that progress has never been automatic and it has never been free. What freedoms today depend on our vigilance and pressure? Just something to think about. This song you can catch on pretty quickly as you hear it. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. Oh Lord, we've struggled so long. We must be free, we must be free. They say that freedom is a constant crying. They say that freedom is a constant crying. They say that freedom is a constant crying. Oh Lord, we've cried so long. We must be free, we must be free. They say that freedom is a constant sorrow. They say that freedom is a constant sorrow. They say that freedom is a constant sorrow. Oh Lord, we've traveled so long. We must be free, we must be free. They say that freedom is a constant dying. They say that freedom is a constant dying. They say that freedom is a constant dying. Oh Lord, we've been dying so long. We must be free, we must be free. Wow. So the next song is actually Ella's song, and for the sake of the arrangement of the page, Hold On My Dear Ones is on the bottom of 6, but we're going to turn to page 7 for a moment. Ella's song, We Who Believe in Freedom, is the subtitle here. Until the killing of black men, black mothers' sons, becomes as important as the killing of white men, white mothers' sons, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. And that's a quote from Ella Baker. Ella Baker was a civil rights organizer and strategizer who worked very closely with Dr. King during the civil rights movement, but you've probably never heard of her because Ella Baker worked behind the scenes. She did not believe in charismatic, heroic leadership. She believed that the impact of ordinary people organizing themselves was the real work. She believed that strong people didn't need strong leaders. Ella's song was performed and popularized in the 1980s by the Grammy-nominated black female a cappella ensemble Sweet Honey in the Rock. And if you've never listened to their music, you should definitely check out Sweet Honey in the Rock. It was composed by a group member, Dr. Bernice Johnson Reagan, who herself was actually a civil rights activist, and she was one of the founding members of the Freedom Singers that we talked about earlier. So she went on to have the group Sweet Honey in the Rock, and she continued singing, and you'll hear more about her a bit later. I think I have more about her too. This song sets to music Ella Baker's powerful words and her vision and her philosophy of organizing and of working for justice. And there are other verses to the songs besides the ones that are in the program, but it's a pretty long song. I think it might be on our QR code list on Spotify, so you can hear all the different parts of it. But I think you'll find that all the verses are incredibly timely decades later from when this was written. So do we work for our future, or do we wait for heroes? We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. So that's our main part, okay? If you are on the sides, you have some harmonies. So we'll all sing, we who believe in freedom cannot rest, we who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. But then the second time, this center section will sing, we who believe in freedom, and the other parts will echo it. But you can echo in harmony. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Yes, and over here we have, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. Let's try that. 1, 2, ready, and we who believe in freedom cannot rest. Yeah, let's put it together, both parts. 1, 2, ready, go. We who believe in freedom cannot. Yeah, so what's going to happen is this group will sing, we who believe in, we who believe. Okay? Okay. Let's try that. 1, 2, ready, go. We who believe in, we who believe in, cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Yeah, so that way, cannot rest until it comes. Yeah, let's do the middle part, okay? Yeah, you kind of get what to do on the sides? Let's fix the middle. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and we who believe in freedom cannot rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Yeah. Okay, let's add them back in. Are we ready? Kind of have it? Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. We who believe, ready? We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe, rest until it rest. Cannot rest. The second time, just go down. Yeah. Cannot rest. Okay? All right. So let's try that whole part. That's the refrain. And then we have some verses in there. From the beginning. 1, 2, ready, and we who, everyone believe in freedom cannot rest. So we do that first and then the echo, yeah. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Here we go with the split. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Yes, until the killing of black men, black mothers' sons, is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers' sons. We who believe, echo, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Yep. Not needing to clutch for power, not needing the light just to shine on me. I need to be just one in the number as we stand against tyranny. We who believe in, yeah. We who believe in, yeah. To me, young people come first. Up there. They have the courage where we fail. If I can just shine a light on as they carry us through the gale. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom. Again, and we who believe freedom cannot rest. We who believe rest until it comes. Yeah, that is Ella's song. All of her quotes and philosophies intertwined into there. You did well. So in 2021, Amanda Gorman became the youngest inaugural poet in U.S. history, using her voice to speak out about division, justice, and hope in our time. She writes, "For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it." Hold On, My Dear Ones was written in 2018 by Heidi Wilson, who is a contemporary composer and song leader. She's Caucasian. She lives in Vermont. And she actually created this song because of a tragedy that happened in a community in Vermont. But this song has been found and recently sung by activist choirs, including the Singing Resistance in Minneapolis. So if you've kind of been paying attention to any of what's has been going on over there, you may have heard this song sung, because this is it's a very moving song, and it's part of their resistance, the Singing Resistance. They show up and they sing, and they unite people through song, and they protest through song. So I'm going to read her composer's note for this piece. This gracious composer, usually composers are very tight with their work, and they want to make sure that they're getting paid and credited and that kind of thing, but this is what she said. It is January 2026, and the people of Minneapolis are inspiring us with what it looks like to really care for one another in the face of escalating ICE raids and authoritarian violence. They are walking kids to school, delivering food to neighbors, standing on street corners in rapid response, and they are singing. I am humbled and moved that this song is useful to folks right now. People have been asking, can I sing it at my church, synagogue, school, street choir? The answer is yes, of course. This song has work to do. Sing on and add more harmonies. And so I just printed it off the internet because she is totally fine with that. So the words are simple. The harmonies are beautiful. I'll show you how the melody goes, and then we'll add in the other parts. This one actually has, it's 3 to 4 parts. You could actually take the melody and sing it an octave down if that's easier. So it goes like this. Hold on, my dear ones. Here comes the dawn. That's the whole thing. Hold on, my dear ones. Here comes the dawn. Do it again, then we'll add the harmonies. Hold on, my dear ones. Here comes the dawn. And then there's a line that goes like this. Hold on. So for my people that have a hard time finding notes, this is mostly the same note, okay? Hold on. Hold on, my dear ones. Here comes the dawn. Sorry, I'm trying to read it. Here comes the dawn again. Hold on, same note. Hold on, my dear ones. Here comes the dawn. Let's try that with the melody. So if you feel like you have the melody, do that. If you want to add the, it's the drone. It's written as the drone line. So that's the part we're adding. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and hold on, hold on, my dear ones. Here comes the dawn. Yep, again. Hold on. Hold on. My dear ones. Here comes the dawn. Yep, again. Hold on. Hold on, my dear ones. Here comes the dawn. Again, one more time. Hold on. Hold on, my dear ones. Here comes the dawn. It's a beautiful, beautiful melody. And this song is what you sing when people are suffering and change feels slow, but you refuse to give up. So that's kind of the idea of that piece. We're moving into our last segment, Songs of Hope. Lift every voice and sing, verse 3 is a prayer. So we've come from a song of unity, bringing everyone together to sing, into a kind of a somber moment about the past, and then moving into a prayer, shifting from lament into a prayer. It goes like this. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path, we pray, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met Thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Shadow beneath Thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. Faith sustained people through slavery, and faith sustained people through Jim Crow, segregation, all of the things that have happened throughout history, but faith was never passive. So the question is, what does faith require now?
Dedication. Action.
So we have dedication, action. Yeah. Feel free if you want to shout out anything. Can we claim faith without confronting injustice? No. Just things to ponder there. So how many of you have heard of Congressman John Lewis? Okay, I figured, yes, most people have heard of John Lewis. But for those who haven't heard of him or don't know much about him, John Lewis was actually a student leader in the civil rights movement, and he was one of the original Freedom Riders. And the Freedom Riders were a group of interracial young people who would get on buses and intentionally go into the Deep South to see if the southern states were complying with the federal laws. So what would usually happen is people would attack them because they would say, hey, we're going to have black people sitting in the front of the bus, we're going to have some white kids in the back, we're going to have us all mixed in together and watch what happens. So we can show the nation that people in these southern states and the local governments are not complying with the federal laws. It was a dangerous mission. And young people were a big part of getting things done during the civil rights movement. And John Lewis was one of those original Freedom Riders. And in 1965, Lewis and dozens of other marchers were attacked and beaten by Alabama state troopers and local law enforcement as well in Selma, Alabama. If you ever heard of an event called Bloody Sunday, that was this. And he was one of the people that was badly, badly beaten as a protester on Bloody Sunday. They were walking across the bridge in the march, and very rapidly they were told, disperse, and then just attacked. So there was no time to actually disperse. They were gathered lawfully as well, so there was that issue, and then they were attacked. And John Lewis went on later to serve in Congress for 30 years, and he called Americans to what he described as good trouble. So if you've heard that phrase before, he popularized that. He once said, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? So Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Round is a song that evolved from earlier spirituals and gospel songs, and it was popularized by the Freedom Singers, who we talked about earlier in the early 1960s. And it was usually sung at marches and protests by people facing immediate threat for standing up for freedom, threats like police dogs or police batons or jail, fire hoses, but also later threats. So I think sometimes we don't think about that aspect. Yes, there was immediate danger for standing up for your rights, but then later you could be fired from your job because you were seen at a march. Or you could experience other forms of economic shutout. People were aware that if we can stop you from being able to spend and buy and sell, that you would have to basically pack up your family and leave. Also, there was the risk of having your home targeted or your family targeted by white supremacists. So it was not a safe situation to stand up. And that applied to everybody who was standing up. It wasn't only black people who were in these marches and protests. There was danger if you were white participating in this as well. So everyone that took on the responsibility of working toward justice in this country took a risk with that and was willing to put their own safety on the line to make sure that this country was living up to its actual ideals. So Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around is another call and response style song. So it's easy to pick up, and it's ideal for spontaneous singing for that reason. So the leader would add relevant verses like, ain't gonna let segregation turn me around, or ain't gonna let persecution, or ain't gonna let police dogs. Whatever was going on in that moment could be thrown into the song, and it was good for morale when you were in a situation where you might very well get attacked. So that's what this song is about. So we'll do a couple of the verses that are kind of relevant now. And in the words of Bernice Johnson Reagan, who we talked about a little bit earlier, who was one of the original Freedom Singers, she was reunited with the original Freedom Singers that were surviving for a concert at the White House back in 2010. And what she said was, you have to actually sing this song. You can never tell when you might need it. So, ask yourself, what does good trouble look like now? Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. So if you're a soprano, turn me round, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Okay? Or make up something. Or make up something. That works too. Turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Gonna let nobody turn me round. I'm gonna keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Got it? It's a lot of the same note, so I think we can manage that. And then the main melody. All right? So let's try it, and I'll try to help you with the harmonies a little. Ready, and ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around, turn me around. Turn me around, ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around. I'm gonna keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let racism turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let racism turn me around. I'm gonna keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let injustice turn me around. More energy! Sing out! Turn me around, ain't gonna let injustice turn me around. I'm gonna keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Yes, 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 that's that. So this little light of mine you probably know. It began as a gospel song within the Black church in the earlier part of the 20th century, and later it was carried into the civil rights movement where it became a freedom anthem. It was sung in churches, at marches, even in jail cells, and often by children. If you haven't heard of the Children's March in Birmingham in 1963, you might want to look that up. It was led by kids, young kids, and guess what? They were not exempt from being attacked by the local police. Marion Wright Edelman, founder of the Children's Defense Fund and a lifelong advocate for children and the poor, was known for saying, "You really can change the world if you care enough." And I feel that that belief is woven into this song because light is resistance. When we let our light shine, that is resistance, and it's powerful. So, let's sing This Little Light of Mine. Ready? And this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. I like the harmonies there. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yeah, so those are a couple of the verses. Sometimes they were saying like all in my home or out here on the streets or in whatever town the protest was in. You would add in verses relevant to the specific place where you were. But that song's important. So let's just sing the chorus part of it one more time, the first verse. Ready? And this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yes, yes, yes. So we're drawing near the end. We have 2 songs left before we are done for the evening. And the next song was written by Melanie DeMore, who is a singer-songwriter and a contemporary vocal activist and a preserver of the African-American folk tradition. I believe she has Gullah roots, and she has committed her work to preserving folk music. In her composer notes for this song, Lead with Love, she writes this. Lead with Love was written in answer to a call for connection in troubled times. It is about persistence, community, and moving ahead. One foot in front of the other is a metaphor for determination and forward motion. I think of love warriors like Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Dolores Huerta. All of them started their movements out of love of their people, not out of hatred of someone else. A song can hold you up when there seems to be no ground beneath you. So she wrote this song in late 2016 or early 2017 at a pivotal moment in US history and framed it as a call for connection in troubled times. That phrase could describe many chapters in American history. So ask yourself, what is driving my civic engagement? Is it fear or love? When the ground feels unstable, what holds me up? The idea of putting one foot in front of the other, which she talks about in this song, it's a cool, you guys are going to love this song. That is a good and simple concept because we do that every day when we're walking. But in reality, this is a survival strategy. When times are hard, the idea of just put one foot in front of the other and keep on going is a lot more complicated than it seems. It's survival strategy. It's a sanity strategy in hard times. So this song doesn't deny struggle, but it answers struggle with encouragement and hope. And tonight, as we move toward our final anthem, this song asks us, what would it mean to lead, and truly lead with love? All right, so we are gonna need to, oops, there's my phone. We're gonna need to clap a little, kind of keep the beat. Clap, tap, toes, hands, whatever you want. Snap, something rhythmic. It goes like this. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Okay, you got that part? That's the main chorus. Don't forget the put. Okay? I love that. Okay. The other parts that go with that we're going to add in are for the harmonies. And it goes like this. One foot, lead with love. I think. Oh, wait, maybe that's their part. Hold on. I need to look at the score. Is that the tenor part? That might be their part. Hold on. One foot. Nope, that was right. Okay. One foot in front of the other one. One foot in front. Sorry, that's the part. In front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. So it goes like one foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. Let's try it a couple of times. 1, 2, ready, go. One foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. Again. One foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. Yeah, so you're doing the same timing as what they're doing, but one foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. Ready? One foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. Again, one foot in front of the other one. One foot, and lead with love. Let's put those together. One foot At the same time. 1, 2, ready, both parts, go. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot in front of the other one. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, and lead with love. Again, go. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot in front of the other one. 1 foot, 1 foot, and lead with love. We're kind of getting it, a little timid, but we're getting it. So you're going to sing, you're going to put, when they get to the word one, that's where you come in. You're going to put 1 foot, 1 foot, but you're going to sing, you're going to put 1 foot in front of the other. Get it? So same thing you were doing in the middle. And we'll try that. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot. Ready? 1, 2, go. You got to put 1 foot, 1 foot. Wait, middle. You got to sing your part, not their part. Let's try it again. Ready? Let's review. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with. Again. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead. High put. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with. Oh, we're getting it over here. Oh, I'm hearing. Yeah. Okay, let's try to put it back together. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You gotta put 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, and lead with of the other one. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, and lead with love. Okay. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Okay, that's the chorus part. The other part is easier, actually, easier. So it's just the echo. Don't give up hope, don't give up hope. You're not alone, you're not alone. Don't you give up, don't you give up. Keep moving on, keep moving. That's the easy part, okay? It's easier, okay? All right, let's try the chorus again. 1, 2, 3. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front, 1 foot, and lead with love of the other one. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, and lead with love. No, I forgot my part. Okay. Like one of the words. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. Keep moving you gotta put 1 foot in front of the other. 1 foot and one of the other one. 1 foot in front of the other and lead with. Again. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. Look up ahead. The path is there. The path is there. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other. Yep. And lead with love. Yep. If you forget it, just make up your part. And lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared. I know you're scared. And I'm scared too. And I'm scared too. But here I am. But here I am. Right next to you. Right next to you. One more time. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. The other one. 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other. Watch me. And lead with love. Very nice, very nice. That had a lot going on, yeah. Yes. But you managed it, yes. Beautiful song, yeah. What would it mean to truly lead with love? So we're moving into our last song of the night, and I believe that we're going to need to move around in a moment, okay? But so I'm going to look at a couple of things that were said here. I believe unconditionally in the ability of people to respond when they are told the truth. These words were spoken by Septima Ponsette Clark, who was an activist and educator and trained thousands of black citizens to read and to register to vote. Deep in her heart, she believed that informed people will do the right thing, and informed people will take action. We Shall Overcome borrows from the gospel hymn, I'll Overcome Someday, which was written a long time ago, 1900, by a Methodist minister named Charles Albert Tinley. And he wrote a lot of songs, now that I think about it. He was a black pastor that wrote a large number of the early gospel songs. It became a labor movement anthem in the 1940s, and in the 1950s, it was carried into the civil rights movement, largely by way of the Highlander Folk School, which some of you may have heard of. I know we have some people here involved in the local folk school, but Highlander Folk School is in Tennessee. And it was a training ground basically for civil rights and labor activists. So if you want to look into the Highlander School, there's a lot of interesting history there as well, and it's very much connected to the civil rights movement. So public renditions of We Shall Overcome by singers like Pete Seeger and Joan Baez also helped the public to become aware of this song. It was sung at just about every march, every mass meeting, and jail cells in Selma, Alabama on Bloody Sunday. People sang it not because victory was guaranteed, but because faith requires perseverance and hope. Coretta Scott King, who continued her activism even after the tragic assassination of her husband, once said, "Struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and win it again in every generation." We've inherited this song, We Shall Overcome. It's been passed down not only from American movements in the 40s and 50s and 60s, but also from liberation, justice, and human rights movements all over the world since that time. This song has been widely used internationally when people are standing up. So we're going to stand and make a circle in a moment and sing this last song together. During the civil rights movement, a common custom was to cross your arms right over left and join hands with the person next to you while singing We Shall Overcome. And that's because doing this, having your arms crossed, is a sign of unity as we stand together for freedom, love, and justice. And it's a sign of hope in the midst of struggle. So, whether your personal hope is rooted in God, or whether you're a person who's simply concerned about justice, or whether your concern is simply the dignity of human life, this song calls us all together in spirit and in purpose. If we believe truly that we shall overcome, what or who are we willing to lovingly confront? Thank you all for your presence tonight. We're going to stand and sing We Shall Overcome. So we're going to have to circle it a bit around to make sure everyone... Oh, thank you. Okay. So once you find a spot... Try to make sure the circle's going to work out. We might have to swing this way. Yeah. We are not a circle yet. We might have to, do we have enough people to go all the way out there? I'm not sure. I'm wondering if we could fit, maybe. Can this section, wait. Where do you want to put it? It's not quite a circle. Okay, I'm wondering if we can, can this section head that way? And then we'll see if we can bring them around, I think maybe that would work. Maybe. I hope some of you have very long arms, because this is not going to work. Okay. Is everyone maxed out on their arm spread? Okay. We almost have a circle. Almost, almost. I don't want to overstretch them. Yeah. Almost. Almost. Okay. Almost, almost. If we, well, know what? Because they're behind the piano on that side. We can't. Okay, so we're almost a circle, but symbolically we're a circle. I think our arms are only designed to go about so far. So we will imagine that that is just closed off. But let's sing "We Shall Overcome," and we'll just do a few of the verses of that song. So if you're not familiar with "We Shall Overcome," I think you'll catch on pretty quickly once we start singing. So it goes like this. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome some. One more. God is on our side. And God is on our side. God is on our side. God is on our side today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Thank you for being here tonight. You're very welcome. Oh, yeah? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. Thanks for being here tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, great. Thank you for coming again. Appreciate it.